Hello everyone, my name is Joshua and this is the 164th video on my video journal series. Today's date is Wednesday, the 22nd of July, 2026. How's everyone been? I've been pretty good, thank you. And today I went bowling with my cousins. Yes, it's been a while since I last caught up with my cousins, but we went bowling today. We got to hang out with each other and yeah, overall it was a nice time. And obviously I got to chat with them a lot because I really do. It's every maybe half year where I get to meet them, and obviously they're around my age. Or I have a yet again though my cousins. They're one of them's my age, one of them's like 1.5 years older than me, so they roughly correspond uh, to me and my brother in terms of age. But yeah. Um, so yeah, we went bowling, and I haven't played Grand Theft Auto 4, but there's this recurring thing in the Grand Theft Auto 4 video game where your cousin in the game calls you, "Hey cousin, you want to go bowling?" All right. Those who have played GTA 4 will most probably know what I'm talking about, and that kind of reminds me of today's outing. "Hey cousin, you want to go bowling?" when Nico calls you or whatever. And yeah, I really love to play GTA 4, though. Just on the side note, it seems like a fantastic game. And obviously, my cousins have played GTA 4, so whenever we go bowling or hanging out with each other, we go like, "Hey, cousin, you want to go bowling?" uh, anyway, random GTA 4 reference. But yeah, and I started off pretty bad when it came to the first round because we had two games, right? The first game, my first two, I guess like rounds were pretty bad. I got like two gutter balls, but then I started getting good. Then like the last two games, or sorry, the last two rounds of the first game, I started doing bad again, and I think I got like second place. I was so close to coming first, but I just missed it by that much. Then the second game, I just did like first two rounds were pretty bad. Then I started actually like scoring, um, actual pins. Then I started doing bad again because my hand started hurting, my wrist. Because when you bowl too much, your wrist starts to hurt. I think you give it like too much power. And the thing about bowling is, right, it's not always just about how much you like thrust the ball, right? How much power you give the ball, like your swing. It just matters about your accuracy, all right? You can have like a slow ball, but you can still get a strike. Meanwhile, if you go too fast, that ball's just gonna go all over the place. It will just end up in the gutter. Yet again, I'm no bowling expert, but I definitely noticed when I took my time and when I actually let the ball land is when I actually scored, rather than just like giving it my like all, giving like a full thrust and it just instantly getting guttable. In fact, that's what my brother did. He tried going for like the fast and powerful thrusts, and he kept on getting gutter balls. But analyzing my cousins, they went for like the more, I guess, refined approach, the slower approach, where you just like give the ball a very soft, gentle thrust, but you still get like a strike or a spare. Um, and yeah, obviously I like going bowling. I went bowling actually as recently as last month, excluding today's visit. I actually went bowling with a friend last month. Um, and yeah, surprisingly, though, not many people bowl nowadays. It's like obviously it's a thing that people still do, but it isn't as popular as you may think. Bowling was really, I guess, a popular sport or recreation activity in like the 50s, 60s, 70s. But now, when like you say, "Hey, you want to hang out?" To like a friend or family member, bowling isn't like the first thing that comes to your mind. Really, it's more like something you do for a birthday or like a kid's birthday. But I like bowling, just being in the bowling alley, and it's like it's just a chillax atmosphere, When you get a strike, it's a very satisfying feeling. Um, and bowling's quite, I guess, cheap compared to other like sports, or like activities. Could be, well, I know for the two games it costs around 20, I think it was 22 or $23 for two games. Roughly one like game of bowling won't really set you back a whole lot. Um, and yeah, um, you know, bowling is yet again that like one thing you do like every couple of years or so, but I always find it fun. Um, Yet again, some schools they offer bowling as like a sport, which I've always found interesting. Come to think about it, did my high school offer bowling? I'm not sure. I would have taken up the offer anyway, if I knew my high school did bowling. But yeah, bowling is sure fun. It's very fun with friends. Doing it as a sport, I don't know how it feels like. It's way more competitive. It's not really a relaxed atmosphere. You gotta like focus. But when it comes to like with friends and all that, especially with cousins, people who you're close to, it's really fun. Um, and obviously, this week I said I really didn't have a whole lot of things, but yet again, things crop up last minute. Um, I guess it's like a nice sort of like send off, um, because this week I've been just trying to like stay at home, start pre work and all of that. But I guess it's nice to hang out with people who you haven't seen in a while, and I feel like a very close attachment, uh, you know, to my cousins. I feel like a very close connection, and obviously I've known them ever since I was little. They're already family, but um, you know, like I always like hang out with my cousins, because we understand each other. We're all relaxed with each other. We never get any fights or whatever, because we're really cousins and we understand each other well, very well, obviously. But well, yeah, it's just like we're all chill with each other, and you know, we like cracking jokes with each other. So yeah, that's why I like hanging out with my cousins. I like like obviously they're more than friends, they're family, but it's like hanging out with your best friend, like that friend who I guess you can always be chill with, who will never really get angry or whatever. You could just like make jokes and all that. You can all have a good time. Who isn't really fussy about like food taste or what you do really. Um, and obviously I do have friends like that. Very very close friends of mine. But I guess when it's your cousins and all that, you can also speak to them on I guess a more emotional level, more deeper level, because you're literally family. You can comfort each other when times are tough. You can enlighten each other during good times, and good times including bowling. That is, but yeah, obviously I like to go bowling more, but you obviously got to find other people to do it with because I feel like bowling by yourself, right? Bowling by yourself is a little bit sad. Um, I like to do it with one or two, three other people. Um, I feel like two or three other people is like the sweet spot. Because if you bowl by yourself, like you'll pretty much get through like one game through like a very short amount of time. But when you're with other people, obviously you'll have to take turns and all that, and that adds to the time that you're in the bowling alley. So I reckon like more people the better theoretically, but um, it's always nice to score a strike in front of everyone, like yes, or score a spare, or get a gutter ball the first time, but then you get a strike. Twist everyone's expectations. Um, and yet again, though, come to think about it, apart from yeah, like I haven't really been bowling that many times in my life. Come to think about it, it's only really those two occasions. I mean, I know I went bowling last year with my cousins. It seems to be like a yearly thing for us now, because last year we did it around July-ish. I think it was yeah July-ish, and obviously right now it's July, so maybe July next year we'll do the exact same thing. Who knows? And yeah, come to think about it, what other things could I do? I mean, I haven't been to a theme park since last year. Last theme park I went to was Luna Park, Melbourne. That's before I recorded this video journal series, but I remember um that being a pleasant experience, and I would like to go to Luna Park, Sydney again. I think it's been a couple of years since I've been on the rides there. Obviously, I walk through there for like city walks and all that because the entry is free, but you got to pay for the rides. So yeah, there'll be plenty of other activities I'll be looking forward to doing. Obviously, not now, but maybe next holidays or whenever I get some downtime, whenever I can get like a group of people. Because yeah, I feel like yet again though, the reason why I cherish my time with my cousins, obviously because they're family, but I gotta stop saying that now. It's getting repetitive. Is that we rarely find like a gap in our schedules where we can like hang out with each other. And if you have like large groups of friends, you'll know what I mean, right? If you have like you know group of friends, you all like each other, you all want to hang out with each other, but everyone's got like conflicting sort of schedules, and that's why when I was bowling with them today, I really cherished that time because I know it'll be at least 6 months before I see him again, because now they're doing their studies and all of that. So yeah, there's going to be like a pretty big gap. Um, but that's why yeah, if you can get like a large group of your friends, or even just a small group, just a group of friends together, it really is a miracle in of itself. Or even like family, because everyone's busy nowadays. We all have our separate paths and things and commitments, and that's just how life rock and rolls. But you know, I'll say, yeah, cherish those times, take a few pictures and all that, but live in the moment, certainly something as simple as bowling with your cousins, it really does hold some sentimental value. And, you look back on those pictures and that, I guess, experience years on, and you're like, oh, that was a nice time, that time I got like two gutter balls in a row, or an entire game with gutter balls, because I suck at bowling. I don't think I've ever got in a game with all gutter balls, actually. I mean, I've always had some sort of skill or accuracy. But, when you keep on getting gutter balls, it really just irritates you. And I know you can put, like, the sort of, like, fences up, the, what do you call it? Well, I'm just going to call them fences or barriers. But, that's something that, like, I feel like is part of the challenge, trying to keep the ball centered. Um, because I know if I had the barriers up, I'll give it my full thrust and I'll always score no matter what. But, you know, something that comes with age, something that comes with skill, your improvements in bowling, your bowling ability. And, I looked at another thing is, I looked at the menu, and this place had like a pretty big menu for a bowling alley. Mind you, it is all pretty expensive. Um, I took a look at their fixed shakes because I like my fixed shakes and milkshakes, and it was like $15. And obviously, that's a lot of money. I know at a cafe, even at a high end cafe, usually they go for around $8 or $10, but they always look so delicious, And I'm like, oh, they got the Freddo, they got like an Oreo and all these like chocolates on top, Isn't healthy by any metric, but I've always wanted to have one. Maybe next time when I go bowling, I'll give myself a little treat. Um, and yeah, they have like a lot of food there. And when we went, it was quite deserted because obviously we went like in the middle of the day. Um, so obviously it's not going to be busy as like school holidays. In fact, school holidays I think it's ended now for like public schools and private schools. That is for like um excuse me, primary and high school, right? I'm in university, so we run on our own sort of schedules. But yeah, so obviously, you don't really see much kids around. Pretty much all the lanes are empty. But that's good because, you can just chill out with everyone and you can watch the music videos. Yes, that's another thing of bowling alleys. They always have like those music videos playing and you're just waiting for your favorite song to pop up or like an oldie. And I waited. There was no old songs there. It was all new stuff, which I don't mind. But I do like myself some old music, and um, I really wish though, like you go to I went to like or that I know of like a retro bowling alley. A bowling alley which just exclusively plays old music. I know there's like I've been there before Manhattan Super Bowl in Rosebery. I've been there a few times, and I know that's like a retro-esque um, bowling alley, but they do have like some modern features in there. Most notably, their arcade has like a bunch of like new arcade machines, not really the old ones. I remember a few years ago they had like a Daytona USA machine, and that was one of the only few places in Sydney I knew of that had a Daytona USA machine. But it seems like now they just removed it. Maybe 1 or 2 years ago they removed it, and they used to have like Time Crisis and all those old games. And that's another thing, like bowling alleys, and their arcade section. They used to have like old arcade machines, and I'm like, why not bring them back? No one plays those prize redemption games. Maybe you have like one or two good machines in there, but like the rest are just like all stuff that doesn't really interest you. Want to bring back Pac-Man, Galaga, Daytona USA, Time Crisis. Those sorts of games that I remember playing at bowling alleys. I remember playing Time Crisis 4. That one where, like, I think the first level you're in like an airport, and you just like going. Don't take that out of context, but that's the beginning stage of Time Crisis because I always remember that stage because I don't think I've ever gone beyond that level. I just kept on like retrying. And I remember the graphics being very realistic in that game, at least for the time. And I remember the airport level being like very detailed, and you like have to duck behind objects and all that. It was man, Time Crisis. But I really love to play that game again. Um, and Also, I played Time Crisis 2. I don't remember that in like any bowling alleys, maybe because I was a little bit too young. But yeah, that's another game I played that would, I guess, be not too, I guess, I mean, maybe like a decade ago or so would have been like commonplace near bowling alleys and all those sorts of arcade games. In fact, list some to me. Write some in the comments if you can. Which ones you remember playing at bowling alleys? I'd love to hear it. But yeah, if I really had to cap off this video, treasure the time that you have with your family, your friends, and try and do stuff as much as you can. If you have a gap in your schedule and everyone can make it or most people can make it, why not do it? Even if it's for like a few hours, it doesn't have to be an all-day thing. And I always have like distinct memories of me hanging out with my cousins, and I certainly love to do it more. I wish like I could just hang out with my cousins every single day, but obviously that's not going to happen. And we do live quite far apart, so it does add to some complexity and try to meet up with each other. But yeah, bowling with my cousins, yeah, it's great. You don't really pay attention to the score. Who's number one, two, three, four. You just chill out, and it's all about having fun. And yeah, that's why I like bowling. It's just a very relaxing sport, I guess. It doesn't require much physical energy apart from like throwing the ball. But even then, they got like these like mini kid, what do you call it? Those like slides for the balls where you could just put the ball on top and it'll roll down this like sort of slide and it will just basically do the bowling for you. I remember using that as a kid, and you put on the gutters barriers as well. So yeah, you're pretty much like cheesing it. But yet again, you're a kid, but like you're not expected to like throw a ball very fast, let alone like a very heavy ball. And yeah, obviously I am pretty, I guess, excited for next week. I will continue with yet again all my projects, obviously this video journal series and all of that. But I've been trying to think of like what things can I do to make this series interesting. And I know it's supposed to be an archive of my life, so it's more like the my life first then the video. But I've like been thinking to myself, all right, well, I need to engage in more interesting activities so I can make like my life a little bit more interesting. I guess bowling's one of them. Apart from that, obviously reading books, watching movies, just I guess introducing myself to all these, I guess, activities now, so then I can look back on them in like 20 years ago, like, oh, I did all these things back when I was young, but now I'm very old and I don't really have much mobility. I remember playing Time Crisis 4. I don't know why I have an American accent. I remember playing Time Crisis 4, the airport level. I'll be like that, Who knows? I'll have to wait 20 years to see how I sound like. But anyway, uh, yeah, bowling with cousins, good time. I'll certainly like to do it more. And yeah, bowling, just a good experience. And you get to just chillax. And yeah, yet again, I guess this is not really a paid endorsement for any bowling alley in particular. Well, I don't know, like any bowling federation or sort of group that it's like bowling's the number one sport, and I to some extent I think bowling's definitely up there for me. But I guess that's a whole nother video. What my favorite sports are. Not very much of a sporty person, but I do occasionally follow NRL and the World Cup. I think the World Cup. Oh yeah, before I end this video, World Cup ended. Spain beat Argentina, 1-0, and obviously I yet to watch the match. I just only saw the sort of headline, but I'll like to watch it, see all the major clips. But yeah, obviously next World Cup will be 2000, it will be 4 years from now, 2030. Yes, 2030. Just making sure because it's that time of night where I get my numbers mixed up. So yeah, I don't know when the next World Cup's being held. Or like where it is. Sorry, where. I might have to do research on that. But other than that, yeah, that's pretty much all my books closed. Pretty much everything I want to say. And yeah, I'll catch you all next time. Bye, see you, take care. Catch you all tomorrow.